Throughout my years of being the gamer, I've played video games. A lot of the ones where I do the Wario, ones where I can be a wolf, ones where I can build a house, and ones where I can be a pig who tries to kill himself and get sent to hell. It's a platformer. Recently, however, after playing Counter-Strike for over 2,000 hours and playing Fortnite, PUBG, Apex, or Overwatch feels like bashing my head against a wall of spikes for 30 minutes, I decided to give up on shooting games that weren't story-focused. But with that, I had trouble finding new games to play. It wasn't until a little game came out that opened me up to a whole new genre of games I enjoy. And that game was Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'd always occasionally played fighting games throughout the years, Street Fighter 2 being the first video game I can remember playing. I also used to sit around and play Skullgirls on a couch for hours on end with a friend, but I never really got into them until Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Which, I get it, Reddit, it's not a fighting game, nobody cares! Dragon Ball FighterZ was the first real one I got into, but the list grew. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, BlazBlue Central Fiction, Soul Calibur 6, Guilty Gear, Rivals of Aether, Street Fighter 5, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, even a fighting game where there's only two buttons, jump and kick. And there's such a variety between the games. They all have their own unique spin on the fighting game formula. Some examples being the amount of characters you can play in a team, which means finding characters you like to play and that also work well together, adding a whole new dimension entirely, or taking away all your controls except for jump and kick. I'm not making this up, it's called dive kick. I can go on, but I'm getting ahead of myself. For people who don't play these games, you basically pick up someone to play from a large cast of characters and fight to see who can kill their opponent first. Some characters are big men who are slow but do big damage. Some characters are quick and nimble but they die in one hit. Some can use long range attacks to keep you away. Some are close up, and other characters are honestly just complete horse. What is even going on my screen? How is this even fair? Yep, I see nothing wrong with this. Yep, this is fine. Yeah, okay, what the fuck? Pretty much every character plays different from one another, which means most of the time you can find at least one character you enjoy playing, and the variety in characters is where a lot of the fun comes from. Some characters have interesting gimmicks, like an example, BlazBlue, there's a character named Nine the Phantom, where her attacks use elements. You know, water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets, how do they work? When she hits an enemy with that element, she puts it in a stock, and she can store 3 different elements in order to create different kinds of spells. So while you're focusing on comboing your opponent, you're also focused on creating the right spell in order to deal more damage in the combo or for the next situation. And speaking of combos, the combat in these games consists of linking moves together to do damage, and a lot of playing these games come down to practicing which combos do the most amount of damage and when to use them. So you end up spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to use them. I remember spending so long in training trying to pull off one combo in Street Fighter 5, and when I finally hit it, while fighting games have always taken a lot of dedication to get good at them, companies like Arc System Works have introduced systems like auto combos in the game where you can just violently mash one button and see, look, you win. However, these aren't as effective as doing combos on your own, so it's a great way to start off having fun and understand the basic mechanics before going in and learning the game at a much deeper level. So while they lower the skill floor, the skill ceiling is still very high. And these games are 1v1, so you only have yourself to blame when you lose, which is a large amount of fun for these games. Figuring out how to do better and self-improve, and seeing yourself progress in skill as you play the games. You spend a lot of time practicing combos and watching yourself play to see what you can improve on, or watching your opponent and what they do so you know how to counteract their strategy. Watching professional play is also one of the best ways to learn how to play these games, learning what your characters can do and how to use them effectively. And that's the thing, fighting games for me is just the best esport out there. Forget your LOLs, forget your Overwatch, forget your Dotes and your Grains, forget the ones where you gotta have the APM of me with a little bit too much caffeine, although to be fair, I think Blizzard forgot about that one as well. I think most of the fighting games are just easy to get the baseline knowledge of. so it's fast for new players or new spectators to just pop in and enjoy watching. And Smash is universally played, so most people already know how the game works, just not to the same level the top players do. And commentating does a good job of explaining when something took a lot of skill or was a good play. And good plays happen so much more frequent since the games are much shorter, although some matches can be the length of a MOBA game. I feel like it's impossible to talk about awesome fighting game moments and not talk about Evo Moment 37, where one player was one hit from dying and someone used their super move, and if he blocked he would have died from chip chip damage, but you did 16 frame perfect button presses and parried the entire attack, winning the entire set and having the crowd erupt in cheer. Fighting game tournaments also have this unique aspect to them where anyone can join as long as they're willing to pay the price to compete. It makes it easy to find somewhere in your area that are running local tournaments weekly, so you can easily see how you are compared to the rest of the people in your area and go 0-2. All major tournaments of the year also let anybody join to see if they're the best. So instead of the question being, is this random team that someone invited better than the other 8 random teams that were invited, it's, are you better than the 3,492 players? If this video interests you at all into looking at fighting games, EVO, the largest fighting game tournament of the year, is going to start this weekend. It's a ton of fun to watch, and if you want recommendations on what to watch since there's so many games, the current big game this year is going to be Smash Ultimate, which is always a fun time. I'll also be watching Street Fighter V, which in my opinion is the best for getting into fighting games. I'll also be watching Dragon Ball Z, which is the most approachable fighting game, and BlazBlue Cross Tag since it's my favorite fighting game to play. Anyways, fighting games are cool. I also bought one of these, but I still suck.